Today we are continuing with our 12 Days of Christmas Felt Ornament series. And this time we are making the 10 Lords a-leaping. Here is the one I made, and I'll show you step by step how you can create your own. But before we jump in, let's go over the supplies you'll need. We'll need felt, thread, needle, stuffing, ribbon, sharp pair of scissors, double-sided tape, and of course the pattern from this lovely book. If you don't want to cut into your book, just make a copy of the pattern pieces to work from. To keep a cohesive look across all ornaments, I decided to change things up a bit. In the book, the pants are blue and the vest is red. Instead, I'm going to use this grayish-green color felt. It's the same felt I used on a partridge, and it will match nicely with the partridge's wing. I'll use this purple for the vest, which ties in nicely with the purple from the 9 Ladies Dancing ornament. And for the shoes, I chose terracotta felt, the same color I used on the 8 Maids a-milking ornament. First, we'll prepare all the pieces we need for this ornament. I am just roughly cutting out the pattern pieces from the paper. To help me cut the pieces precisely, I'll start by securing the pattern to the felt with double-sided tape. Then, following the outline, I'll carefully cut each piece using a sharp pair of scissors. The number of pieces you'll need is written on the pattern. So if it calls for 2, you don't need to reapply the double-sided tape. It should still be sticky enough. And with a little video magic, all our pieces are ready. Pants, face, hands, socks, hair, vest, shoes, hat, and the shirt. Now we are all set to start sewing. I am going to start by drawing on the face first to make sure our Lord looks handsome. Begin by placing the face on the hairpiece and embroider the eyes using French knots. Be sure to stitch through both layers to secure the face in place. Once the eyes are done, we'll add a cheerful smile using a simple line of back stitches. Next, we'll secure the vest to the shirt using a blanket stitch. You can use thread that matches the vest, but I think using white is quite nice. It adds a bit of detail and decoration to the vest. For a blanket stitch, just sew along the edge, making sure the thread loops under the needle each time. This gives you that nice, even stitched border. Let's take a closer look at the vest and how it's decorated. I'll be recreating the same design by adding 3 buttons along the front and finishing it off with star stitches. I am marking the spots for the buttons with my heat erasable marker, and I want to make sure they are nicely aligned, because a leaping lord needs to look sharp and well dressed. To make the buttons, I'm using French knots. Just bring your needle up through the felt, wrap the thread around the needle a couple of times, then insert it back down right next to where it came up. Pull it through and you'll have a neat little knot that looks just like a button. After the buttons are finished, I'll add a star to decorate the front. You could also try sewing on a little pocket with a backstitch, or even add a flower with daisy stitches. Just a few fun ideas to make it your own. I've already assembled the back vest and the shirt, and now it's time to attach the 2 pieces together. Have your hand pieces ready? We'll need them soon. Start connecting the pieces with a blanket stitch, and when you reach the cuffs, insert the hands and stitch them in securely. Continue stitching all the way around. Don't leave the neck area open until you reach the other arm. Then insert the second hand and continue stitching. Finish stitching around, but be sure to leave the waist open. Time to add some stuffing. Use a skewer to gently push the filling into the arms and pack the chest area. Our little lord needs to be nice and plump. Now let's move on to decorating the pants. I am using my trusty marker to draw the design before I start stitching. You could decorate the back as well, but I'm just going to decorate the front of the pants this time. Now I'm following the lines I drew and sewing along them with a backstitch. The white thread doesn't show up as much on camera, but it looks really nice in person. The marker is still a little visible, but don't worry, a bit of heat will make it disappear. Look at that, a little help from my hairdryer and poof, the blue marker spots have vanished like magic. To wrap up the pen's decorations, I'm popping on a few French knots. They add just the right touch of charm. It kind of looks like tiny pearls sprinkled across the pens. When I reached this part in the book, I got a little confused. So I'm just going to sew the top of the pens together, leaving the waist open. I think the book suggested closing the waist area, but you'll see in the next step why I decided to leave it open. Right now it kinda looks like our poor Lord was in a magic show and got cut in half. But don't worry, we can fix that. And here is why I left the top of the pants open. I wanted to be able to sew around with a blanket stitch so it looks nice from both sides. If the pants had been closed, I'd only get a blanket stitch on the front and the back would just look like a whip stitch. This was probably the most tedious and tricky part of making this ornament. So you decide, do you want to close up the pants and just sew a straight line of backstitch on the front to connect the two pieces? Or do you want to make it a bit trickier and possibly get a better result? Before I continue with the Lord, I need to do a little bit more prep work. I need to get the shoes and the socks ready. I'll start with the shoes by sewing the front and back pieces together. Make sure to leave the top of the shoe open. We'll need room to sneak in some toy filling later to give our Lord comfy shoes for leaping. The shoes are really tiny, so be careful not to poke your fingers while sewing. With the shoes finished, I'll move on to the socks. Just like with the shoes, I'll attach the front and back pieces together. And once again, leave one side open. We'll need that space to add the toy filling later. Grab a bit of toy filling and start stuffing the socks. You'll definitely need a skewer here to help push the filling in. When you have finished stuffing, you can close up the sock. You might be able to skip this step, but I think it makes it easier to attach the sock to the shoe and the body when it's already closed. Add a tiny bit of toy filling to the shoe using a skewer to help push it in. Once it's stuffed, insert the sock and secure it in place. I used a blanket stitch, but an overhand stitch would work too. The pieces are really small, so it's a little tricky and challenging, but you can do it. With the prep work done, we can get back to assembling the Lord. Insert the sock into the pants opening and sew it in place. I used a blanket stitch, but you might find an overhand stitch easier here. This Lord can't go leaping with one leg, so insert the other leg and repeat the process. With both legs attached, we can now close up the pants. Before you completely close up the pants, add some toy filling to give them shape. In one of the earlier videos, I asked about your favorite Christmas song. But this time, I want to know what's your favorite Christmas movie. Share it in the comments below for a chance to win the complete set of ornaments. The full giveaway rules are in the description box, but basically, each video in this series has a question. Every time you answer, you'll get an entry into the giveaway. So if you are serious about winning, make sure to watch the other videos too. Each answer brings you one step closer to the prize. We are getting close to finishing this ornament. The head is decorated with a little star stitch, so let's add that detail as well. Now grab the headpiece we completed at the beginning of the video and attach it to the head. Sew the lower straight edge of the brim onto the face using a blanket stitch. Repeat the same step for the back. Join the head and hair together, making sure they are nicely aligned with the front face and head, so then when you sew the two pieces together later, they'll match up perfectly. Go ahead and get your ribbon ready. We'll be using it in just a moment. I'm cutting a 7-inch piece of ribbon, but you can adjust the length based on your preference. Now we'll assemble the front and back pieces of the head using a blanket stitch. Take your time to line them up so the edges match nicely. I'm really enjoying how these soft pastel colors look together. They give the ornament a subtle, delicate feel. What about you? Do you like this color combo or would you try something different? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Now that we've reached the top of the head, we'll insert the ribbon folded in half. Make sure the ends are tucked inside the head so they are completely hidden. Secure the ribbon with a few stitches and then finish sewing the head pieces together. Grab some toy filling and use a skewer to carefully push into the head, filling it evenly. Now it's time to attach the head to the body. I'll start by sewing the hair to the front of the head, making sure to catch only the brown felt. Place the collar inside the head and sew them together at the neckline using a blanket stitch. You might find it easier to use an overhand stitch instead. It's just a suggestion. Before sealing up the head, tuck in a little extra toy filling. Let's give our Lord a nice plump head. I hope you enjoyed this video. Each little detail from the star-stitched hat to the tiny French knot buttons really brings this ornament to life. If you are enjoying this series, don't forget to watch the other videos in the 12 Days of Christmas collection and join in the giveaway. Share your favorite Christmas movie in the comments for a chance to win a full set of ornaments. And there you have it. Our 10 Lords a Leaping ornament is complete. Happy crafting, and I will see you in the next video.